Welcome to the 15th installment of Em Alejandro, your number one place for sports, cars, video games, and fitness. If you're a man, you're here. Mr. Alejandro's about to tell him.
What you about to tell him, Alejandro?
I'm about to tell you about this groovy Knicks game versus the Mavs.
Tell him, Alejandro!
The Knicks just finished their 3-game road trip in Texas against San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas. They went 2-1, and in all 3 games, they looked good in the games, even in the one loss versus Houston. More importantly, Iman Shumpert, one of their players that's been struggling all season, finally stepped up and started playing how we're accustomed to him playing from last year and the year before. The Knicks won against the Dallas Mavericks 92-80. A few notable stats. Dirk Nowitzki had 18 points and 9 rebounds, the all-star big man for the Dallas Mavericks. And for the Knicks, a lot of players played well for the Knicks today. Let's start off with their star, Carmelo Anthony. He had a big stat line, 19 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and a nice chase down block against Shawn Marion, where he even told him, you can hear it, get that herb out of here. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Melo. He played good. Kenyon came off the bench and had a big game because our starting center, Tyson Chandler, unfortunately was having problems with his respiratory system. He got a little sick. So Kenyon was the next man up, and he stepped right in there, had 14 points, 6 rebounds, and a nice block. And he was playing like a goon, so shout out to Kenyon. Amar'e Stoudemire once again came off the bench and played well. 11 points, 7 rebounds. He had a block, and he had a nice brolic dunk when, what's the boy's name? Bino Udrih was driving to the hoop, and I guess Amar'e's defender was trying to help. So he kind of just left Amar'e just cut into the hole all by himself. Amar'e caught it, bang, just banged it down. He was screaming. I was screaming too. So I'm glad to see Amar'e's banging the ball once again. And he's getting some minutes. The knees look fine. I stress that the knees look fine. This is great. He's playing about 20 minutes a game, 20 to 25 minutes a game. So shout out to Amar'e. Tim Hardaway had 10 points in 11 minutes. Shout out to Tim Hardaway. He's still coming off the bench doing his thing. J.R. Smith, he's facilitating. That's a good look for J.R. And he's also driving to the hole. That's a good look. I like when J.R. drives to the hole and doesn't always take that low percentage step back shot, because that's a nut shot. And it's a stupid shot at times. But when he makes it, it's kind of like, all right, we'll take it. On this 3-game road trip, I really like how Iman Shumpert's been playing. The first 2 games, he dropped over 20 points, or the second game, he dropped close to 20 points. And he was banging a lot of 3-pointers. But even in this game, he had only 9 points, I think 6 rebounds and 3 steals. But in the fourth quarter, he got 5 of his 9 points, and 2 of his baskets was in a big form. One of them, he drove past, I think it was Dirk. I'm not sure. It was some big man. He drove past him, and he had a layup, and he was smiling. Him and his teammates, you could see them talking. And basically, after the game, he said something about, well, they were telling me to observe what they were doing to me, this, that, and the third. And he was just happy because he read the defense properly. And usually, he said he usually pulls up for a jumper, and in that situation, he drove, and he was happy he drove. Then the next shot was a big 3-pointer, and the Knicks were up 6 at the time, with less than 2 minutes in the fourth, and this 3-pointer really just put the game away. You know what I'm saying? After that, all the bums came off the bench, all the starters went on the bench. So it was basically a wrap. Shout out to Iman Shumpert. He's playing real good. Hopefully he can keep it up and continue playing like this for the whole season. And the Knicks would definitely be a completely different team with Iman playing like this, and obviously Melo playing how he usually plays, and with Amar'e coming off the bench and playing well. Tonight's bow tie is brought to you by Arrow. It's going to be our new New York Knicks bow tie. I'm feeling it. Tune in for more sports, cars, video games, fitness, and all that. Follow at Em Alejandro on Twitter to hear my immediate reaction to live sports events. Outro music. Next game, the next play is against Detroit. Hopefully they win. And it's in the Garden. Represent, man. I'll be winning on the road and losing at home. What is that about? TEA.